Hey y'all, I'm Thomas with Fostered Woodworks. Today I wanted to talk to you about pocket holes, specifically this pocket hole jig right here, and why I love it. It's so easy to use and perfect for the DIYer and woodworker. As a beginning woodworker, pocket holes are my go-to joinery, especially in shop furniture, like this new workbench. This is the Massca Pro aluminum pocket hole jig system. This one in particular is the M2 model with the stabilizing bars and the stop blocks on each side. I use this one extensively when building my workbench. Pretty much every bit of joinery in the thing is pocket holes, from the shelves to the drawers to the main body of the workbench. This jig was perfect. It was great for the job. Every bit of it was easy to use, and the explanations that come within the instructions for the setup of the jig made it so easy to put together. We'll take a look real quick at what comes in the box as we open it, and then also, the setup and the use of the jig. As you can see here, when you open the box, it's really nicely packaged. You have the instructions right on top, and then a box of hardware. You also have the stabilizing blocks that go on each end. You have the body of the pocket hole jig, and then the stabilizing bars that go on each end. To get started, you can easily measure the thickness of a board or workpiece that you're using with the thickness scale on the bottom of the body here, and then you can easily use the toggle clamp to latch it down just to make sure you get a more accurate measurement. To use that toggle clamp, all you need to do is spin it a little bit back and forth. There's a nut on each end to help get that desired, just the right amount of pressure. After you've determined the thickness of your workpiece, you use the knobs on each side of the body, raise it to the thickness, and then just tighten them. If I had to be picky, I wish there were some positive stops of some sorts that would make it easier to get to the desired thickness, but it's still really easy to tighten those knobs, and it'll stay put once it's there. Before drilling, you want to make sure you use the depth turret stop. This is going to be set to the thickness of your material. You'll put your drill bit in and then just tighten the collet around the drill bit. You want to make sure that you won't damage the workpiece as well as the jig. If you wanted to, you could definitely attach this jig to some sort of plywood or MDF to create more of a base. I'll probably do that in the future, that way it will stabilize the piece more. I'm not gonna lie, one thing I was really excited about when using this jig was the ability to hook up my vacuum to the dust port there. You can see here as you're drilling, there is little to no dust that comes out of the jig. For those of you that drill a lot of pocket holes, you know how much of a mess it can make when there's no sort of dust collection hooked up. So you can see here, it's a big difference. It makes a big mess, and the ability to not have to clean up the shop, the workbench, or the floor all the time makes me really happy. Now, if you have any work pieces that are just too large to take to the jig, you can take the riser block off of the body of the jig, easily follow the instructions to attach a base plate, and then just clamp it to your workpiece, and there you go. When I was making all of the boxes, I was using 1/2-inch plywood instead of 3/4-inch plywood, so be careful when you go to change over from a different thickness. Make sure you change the thickness gauge and the riser block, or you can definitely mess up your workpiece. But I had a lot of pocket holes to drill for these, and with that toggle clamp, it just makes it so much easier to just clamp it down. Don't have to worry about holding the workpiece, and drill the holes as you need. You can really crank out a lot of pocket holes. As you can see, the jig was extremely easy to use. The setup gauge for it with the thickness, the push-pull toggle clamp, the height on the guide block here with the setting, the adjustments here, and part of my favorite, the dust collection to keep the shop clean. I couldn't ask for a better pocket hole jig. I want to say a big thank you to Massca for sending out their product for me to try. They're just a fantastic company, family-owned business, and you should definitely go support them. If you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'd love to hear any feedback, comments on the video, and let me know what you think. Stick around to see a video on how I built the workbench, more process on how I did it, and why I built it and designed it the way I did. Thanks, guys.